Why smart men struggle in modern dating. Psychology explains. Intelligence has always been considered an attractive trait, yet paradoxically, many highly intelligent men find themselves struggling in the modern dating landscape in ways that seem counterintuitive. These men often excel in their careers, have rich inner lives, and possess deep knowledge about subjects they're passionate about. But when it comes to romantic relationships, they frequently feel lost, frustrated, or unsuccessful. This phenomenon isn't about intelligence being unattractive. Research consistently shows that intelligence is valued by both men and women in potential partners. Rather, it's about how certain cognitive and psychological traits that characterize highly intelligent individuals can create unexpected challenges in the complex world of modern dating. Understanding these challenges from a psychological perspective can help explain why intellectual prowess doesn't automatically translate to romantic success. The modern dating environment has evolved rapidly, particularly with the advent of dating apps, changing social norms, and shifting expectations around relationships. These changes have created new dynamics that can be particularly challenging for men whose minds work in ways that serve them well in academic or professional settings, but may not align with the fast-paced, often superficial nature of contemporary dating culture. The paralysis of analysis. One of the most significant challenges highly intelligent men face in dating stems from their tendency toward analysis and systematic thinking. While these traits serve them well in academic and professional contexts, they can become counterproductive in romantic situations that require spontaneity, emotional intelligence, and intuitive responses. Overthinking every interaction. Intelligent men often approach dating with the same analytical mindset they apply to complex problems in their work or studies. They analyze every text message, dissect conversations for hidden meanings, and try to develop optimal strategies for romantic success. This analytical approach can create several problems. Decision paralysis. When you're accustomed to having complete information before making decisions, the ambiguous nature of early dating can be overwhelming. Should he text back immediately or wait? What does her choice of emoji mean? Is suggesting coffee too casual or dinner too intense? The endless variables can lead to overthinking simple interactions. Loss of spontaneity. Romance often requires spontaneous gestures and emotionally driven responses. When every action is carefully calculated and analyzed, the natural flow of romantic interaction can become stilted and inauthentic. Women often pick up on this calculated approach and may interpret it as lack of genuine interest or emotional unavailability. Missing emotional cues. While analyzing the logical content of conversations, highly intelligent men may miss important emotional subtext. They might focus on what someone is saying while missing how they're saying it, or fail to pick up on nonverbal communication that provides crucial information about romantic interest and compatibility. The search for perfect logic. Many intelligent men struggle with the inherently illogical nature of attraction and human emotions. They may become frustrated when romantic situations don't follow predictable patterns or when their logical approaches don't yield expected results. This can manifest as attempts to solve dating like a math problem, finding the right formula for success rather than accepting that human attraction involves complex psychological, biological, and social factors that can't be reduced to simple equations. When their systematic approaches fail, they may conclude that dating is arbitrary or that they're fundamentally unsuited for romantic relationships. Social calibration challenges. High intelligence doesn't automatically confer social intelligence, and many brilliant men struggle with social calibration, the ability to read social situations accurately and adjust their behavior appropriately for different contexts. Academic versus social intelligence. The skills that make someone successful in academic or technical fields don't necessarily translate to social settings. Academic intelligence involves abstract thinking, complex problem solving, and deep focus on specialized subjects. Social intelligence requires reading emotional cues, understanding group dynamics, and adapting communication styles to different audiences. Many intelligent men have spent years developing their analytical abilities while having fewer opportunities to develop social skills. They may have been the studious types who spent more time with books than people, or found that their intellectual interests didn't align with typical social activities of their peers. Communication style mismatches. Highly intelligent individuals often prefer precise, detailed communication and may struggle with the more casual, emotionally oriented communication style common in dating scenarios. They might over-explain simple concepts. In an effort to be clear and accurate, they may provide more detail than necessary, coming across as condescending or pedantic even when that's not their intention. Focus on facts over feelings. They might respond to emotional expressions with logical solutions rather than empathetic validation, missing opportunities for emotional connection. Use complex vocabulary. Without realizing it, they may use technical jargon or sophisticated vocabulary that creates distance rather than connection, making conversations feel more like lectures than intimate exchanges. Difficulty with small talk. Many intelligent men find small talk frustrating and meaningless, preferring to jump directly into deeper, more substantial conversations. While this preference for meaningful dialogue is understandable, it can create challenges in early dating scenarios where small talk serves important social functions. It creates comfort, establishes rapport, and provides a foundation for deeper connection. The dismissal of small talk as waste of time can prevent them from building the social foundation necessary for romantic relationships to develop naturally. The curse of high standards. Intelligence often correlates with having well-developed preferences and high standards, which can become problematic in dating contexts where flexibility and openness to different types of people and experiences are important. Intellectual compatibility requirements. Highly intelligent men often seek partners who can match their intellectual level and interests. While shared intellectual compatibility can be important for long-term relationship satisfaction, making a primary requirement can severely limit the dating pool and cause them to overlook potentially compatible partners who express intelligence in different ways. This focus on intellectual compatibility can also lead to premature screening, judging potential partners too quickly based on narrow criteria rather than allowing attraction and compatibility to develop naturally over time. Missing different types of intelligence, failing to recognize and appreciate emotional intelligence, creative intelligence, practical intelligence, or other forms of cognitive ability that might be equally valuable in a relationship partner. Creating pressure. When dates feel like intellectual tests, potential partners may feel judged or inadequate, preventing genuine connection from developing. Perfectionism in partner selection. The same perfectionist tendencies that drive academic and professional success can become counterproductive in dating. Highly intelligent men may create detailed lists of desired traits in a partner and reject otherwise compatible people for minor incompatibilities. This perfectionism can also manifest as fear of settling, worry that accepting someone who isn't perfect on paper means settling for less than they deserve, not recognizing that successful relationships involve compromise and growth. Comparison shopping, treating dating like a consumer decision where they're constantly evaluating whether a better option might be available, preventing them from fully investing in getting to know someone. Idealization, creating unrealistic expectations based on fictional characters, past relationships, or theoretical ideals rather than accepting the complex reality of actual human beings. Emotional intelligence gaps. While intelligence and emotional intelligence are related, their distinct abilities and high cognitive intelligence doesn't guarantee strong emotional skills. Many brilliant men struggle with emotional intelligence aspects that are crucial for romantic success. Understanding and expressing emotions. Highly analytical men may struggle with identifying their own emotions. They might intellectualize feelings rather than experiencing them directly, making it difficult to understand their own emotional responses and communicate them authentically to partners. Emotional vulnerability. The logical mind often views emotional vulnerability as risky or illogical, but romantic relationships require the ability to be emotionally open and vulnerable with another person. Reading others' emotions. While they may understand emotions conceptually, they might struggle to read emotional cues in real-time social situations, missing important information about how their behavior is affecting others. The logic versus emotion conflict. Many intelligent men experience internal conflict between their logical analytical side and their emotional side. They may distrust emotional responses as irrational and try to approach relationships primarily through logic, missing the fact that emotions provide important information and that successful relationships require both logical compatibility and emotional connection. This can lead to emotional suppression, trying to maintain logical control at all times, which prevents the emotional intimacy necessary for deep romantic connections. Misunderstanding women's communication. Interpreting emotionally based communication through a purely logical framework, missing the emotional content that's often more important than the literal meaning. Difficulty with romantic gestures. Struggling to understand why illogical romantic gestures, flowers, poetry, surprise dates, are meaningful, focusing on their practical pointlessness rather than their emotional significance. The analysis paralysis of modern dating apps. The digital dating landscape has created new challenges that can be particularly difficult for highly analytical minds to navigate effectively. Reducing humans to data points. Dating apps encourage users to make quick decisions based on limited information, photos, brief bios, and basic demographic data. For men who prefer to make informed decisions based on comprehensive information, this process can feel inadequate and frustrating. The app interface encourages treating potential partners like data points to be optimized rather than complex human beings to be understood, which conflicts with the deeper, more nuanced approach many intelligent men prefer. The paradox of choice. Having access to hundreds or thousands of potential matches can create decision paralysis for analytical minds. Instead of simplifying dating, the abundance of options can make it more complex and overwhelming. This can lead to constantly second-guessing, wondering if the next swipe might reveal someone better, preventing full investment in getting to know current matches. Analysis paralysis, spending excessive time analyzing profiles and trying to optimize matching strategies rather than engaging in actual conversations and meetings. Perfectionist tendencies, setting impossibly high standards because the apparent abundance of options makes it seem like the perfect match should be findable. Surface-level interactions. The fast-paced, superficial nature of app-based communication can frustrate men who prefer deep, meaningful conversations. The pressure to be witty and engaging in brief text exchanges may not play to their strengths, particularly if they're more comfortable with longer form, thoughtful communication. Social and cultural shifts. Modern dating culture has evolved in ways that can be particularly challenging for men whose social development occurred in different contexts or who prefer more traditional approaches to relationship building. The decline of traditional courtship. Many intelligent men may have grown up with models of courtship that involve gradual relationship building, formal dating structures, and clear social scripts for romantic interaction. Modern dating culture, with its emphasis on casual dating, hookup culture, and fluid relationship definitions, may feel confusing or uncomfortable. This shift can leave them feeling uncertain about expectations, not knowing what level of commitment or exclusivity is expected at different stages of modern relationships. Uncomfortable with ambiguity, preferring clear definitions and expectations in a dating culture that often celebrates ambiguity and keeping things casual. Missing social scripts, feeling lost without traditional guidelines for how romantic relationships should progress and what their role should be at different stages. Change gender dynamics. Evolving gender roles and expectations can create confusion for men who may have grown up with different models of masculine behavior. They may struggle to understand what modern women want in partners, particularly when cultural messages seem contradictory. This can manifest as confusion about assertiveness, not knowing when to be assertive versus when to step back, particularly in a culture that values both confidence and respect for women's autonomy. Career versus relationship balance. Struggling to understand how their professional success should factor into their romantic appeal in an era when many women are equally career-focused. Changing relationship expectations. Adapting to relationships where emotional labor, domestic responsibilities, and financial obligations are more equally shared. Strategies for success. Understanding these challenges is the first step toward overcoming them. Here are evidence-based strategies that can help intelligent men navigate modern dating more successfully. Developing emotional intelligence. Practice mindfulness. Develop awareness of your own emotional responses and learn to sit with feelings without immediately analyzing or trying to solve them. Learn emotional vocabulary. Expand your ability to identify and articulate different emotional states, both in yourself and others. Seek feedback. Ask trusted friends, particularly female friends, for honest feedback about your social interactions and emotional expression. Practice vulnerability. Start with small acts of emotional openness and gradually build your comfort with being emotionally vulnerable. Improving social calibration. Practice active listening. Focus on understanding not just the content of what people say, but the emotions and intentions behind their words. Study social dynamics. Observe successful social interactions and try to understand what makes them work beyond just the logical content. Start with friendship. Practice social skills in lower stakes friendships before applying them to romantic situations. Accept imperfection. Allow yourself to make social mistakes and learn from them rather than trying to optimize every interaction. Balancing analysis with intuition. Set analysis-free zones. Designate specific times or situations where you'll respond intuitively rather than analytically. Trust first impressions. Sometimes your initial gut reaction contains valuable information that analysis might overlook. Focus on experience over optimization. Prioritize having authentic experiences over trying to optimize outcomes. Embrace uncertainty. Practice being comfortable with ambiguity and unknown outcomes. Expanding your definition of intelligence. Appreciate different types of intelligence. Learn to recognize and value emotional intelligence, creative intelligence, practical intelligence, and other forms of cognitive ability. Look for curiosity over knowledge. Focus on finding partners who are curious and engage with life rather than those who necessarily share your specific areas of expertise. Value growth over perfection. Look for partners who are growing and developing rather than those who already meet all your criteria perfectly. Conclusion. Intelligence as an asset, not a barrier. The goal isn't to diminish your intelligence or pretend to be someone you're not. Intelligence remains an attractive and valuable trait in romantic relationships. The key is learning to apply your analytical abilities more strategically while developing complementary skills in emotional intelligence and social calibration. Many of the traits that create dating challenges for intelligent men, depth, thoughtfulness, high standards, and analytical thinking, are actually tremendous assets in long-term relationships. The challenge is learning to navigate the early stages of modern dating in ways that allow these deeper qualities to be appreciated and valued. Remember that dating is a skill that can be developed like any other. Your intelligence gives you advantages in learning and adapting, but like any skill, it requires practice, feedback, and willingness to step outside your comfort zone. The modern dating landscape may feel foreign or frustrating at times, but by understanding the psychological dynamics at play and developing strategies to address the unique challenges you face, you can leverage your intelligence to build meaningful, lasting romantic relationships. The goal isn't to become less intelligent or analytical. It's to become more emotionally intelligent and socially calibrated while maintaining the authentic qualities that make you who you are. Your intelligence isn't the problem. It's learning how to apply it more effectively in the complex, emotionally nuanced world of human relationships.